Welcome to Octane Mobile Gaming. Welcome once again to the channel. I am Octane, and today we take a look at the next Light Commander deck, which is out for the event which starts later on this evening. It's a chaotic killer skill, and this deck is quite nice. I really like the skills on the ultimate form. The Master Collection card and the Ultra Rare is not too bad either, but I really like the ultimate form. Now, this ultimate form can be a really decent damage dealer going forward, especially in Light Commander events. Primarily because it has the ability to boost its own damage. So let's start with the battle skill first and foremost. It cleanses 1 debuff from each Light Commander and dispel 1 enemy buff. This has got a 3-turn cooldown. Now this skill, if you combine it with another card that's got the same skill to dispel buffs and debuffs from the bosses and from your cards, it can be really good going forward in Light Commander events. Now, in GVG situations, you have to bear in mind that this will only dispel debuffs from Light Commander cards. So if you've got a mixture of Light Commander and Light Slayers, you have to bear in mind that it will not cleanse the debuff from your Light Slayer cards. Now, the first of the 3 passive is called Twin Roar, and this will create 8 Light Power Gem 7s. It will also increase self-damage for 160%, which is quite nice. 300% or 250% would have been much better. It would have given you a bigger bang for your buck. But taking nothing from 160%, that is quite decent if you ask me. Especially because we've got other cards that will enable this card to deal really decent damage. The next passive will create an additional 8 Light Power Gem 7s, but only every 3 turns. This one will not be active on turn 0. So on the 3rd turn after the battle starts, you will get 16 Light Power Gems being generated by your ultimate form, which I believe is quite nice. This deck is also good for wave fights as well, so it's a really decent deck for Light Commander events. Now, the last passive on this one will give you 5% damage reduction, and it will also stock with other cards that's got the same ability. Now, this card will dispel Dodge. Dodge is not too bad. It's not too much of a debuff, but it can be annoying, especially going up against the ultimate bosses. So it's something that it's quite nice to actually dispel. Now, the next card up is the Master Collection card. And this one is Blade Dancer Fiona. And she has got the battle skill, or the ability with her battle skill, to create 8 light power gem 6s and dispel 1 enemy debuff. That's got a free turn cooldown as well, and it's got the same ability to resist damage from the bosses, and that's a 5%, and it actually stacks with the ultimate form, so that's quite nice as well. Now this one will counter Traitor. Traitor is not too bad. Traitor is almost like Thorns, where when you're hit with Traitor, it actually affects your health. So every time you deal damage, the card that is hit with Traitor will actually deal damage back to your deck. Thorns is a bit different, where every single card will actually deal damage back to your deck, because Traitor is a debuff, but Thorn is a buff for the boss. Okay, so this is Line of Light, Franz, and this one is your ultra rare, and this one will cleanse 1 buff from 1 debuff from each light commander card, and it's got the passive to create 8 light power gem 7s and increase self damage by 160% at the start of each turn. So this one only gives you 8 power gem 7s. Doesn't really give you additional power gems, but that's neither here nor there. It can be a really decent damage dealer, not as good as, say, the ultimate form, but it can be a really decent damage dealer going forward. Now this one dispels Slumber. Now Slumber is going to be the debuff that you need to dispel, because your deck, this deck, creates most of its power gems passively. So you have to dispel Slumber, because Slumber will affect your ability to actually generate your power gems. So that's something that you really and truly want to dispel, especially when you're going up against the ultimate bosses. Now this is the main hero, and the main hero, I think the main hero is not too bad this week. It actually creates 7 light power gem 4s, and it decreases damage taken by the enemy as attacked by 5%. Now this will stack with the resist that the ultimate form has got and the ultra rare has got. It's got a free turn cooldown, and it doesn't really do anything else apart from dispel Traitor. So that's quite nice for somebody in Paladin League. Paladin League is not really a tough league. A lot of people in Paladin League are new starters, people who are new to the game, are people who have been playing the game for a long time, but they haven't collected really good cards. Now this one is Paladin Franz, and this is your support card for this week. Now the support card for this week is not really decent. It's okay. It's just a garden variety support card. What it does, it significantly increases the drop rate of light gems, and this only lasts for 1 turn. It's got a free turn cooldown, and it creates 10 light gems at the start of each turn. If you've got this card in your deck, every single turn you'll get 10 light gems. Not brilliant, but it's okay. Now let's take a look at cards that can be quite useful for this event. Now if you haven't got the current ultimate form, you can use Stornborn Sentinel. It's a year old. It's the ultimate form that came out last year. It will give you 900% increased damage with its killer skill. And this one, what it does, it freezes all enemy and increases their turn count by 1. This has got a 6 turn cooldown. The passive creates 3 light power gem 5s at the start of each turn, and if enemies are burning, instead it will create 4 plus 1 more per 160 chaotic killer intensity. Now 150 chaotic killer intensity is far better than 200, because we've got cards from last year that you need to generate 200 chaotic killer intensity to actually create 1 extra power gem. But 150 is still too much. I think 50% when these cards came out would have been much better. We've moved on, and now these cards are absolutely, they're not really that useful when it comes to power gem creation. This is going to be the Pionstone resistance for the deck, Divine Sovereign. Now this card will actually increase the damage of the card that activate its battle skill right after this card. So what this one does, it creates the bonus, it gains the attack bonus bonus buff for 1 turn, and then give Excalibur to the next light commander that activates their battle skill. Excalibur increases the damage by 500% for 2 turns. So in layman term, or simply put, what it does, it increases the damage of the card that activates its battle skill next by 500%. Now, if this card is actually placed right before the current ultimate form, the current ultimate form, when it activates its battle skill, will actually gain 500% damage from this card and 160% self-damage increase, giving you a whopping 660% damage increase. So that's quite good. Now this one is Disdain Duo. This one is not too bad either. What this does is it adds 60 stacks of light gem fall and reduces damage taken by 50% for 1 turn. Then creates 1 light power gem 6 for 10 stacks of light gem fall. Simply what that means is the more light gem stacks of light gem fall you've got on the board, the more light power gem 6s you can create with this card. It's got more, where the second passive will, every time you use a skill that increases gem drop rate or add stacks of gem fall, it destroys 5 non-light gems. So it is a gem destroyer. It's and it falls light gems as well, so it's not too bad. The third passive, whenever this hero attacks, it heals for 100% of hero recovery for every 10 stacks of light gem fall. So it's a really, really good healer. And if you've got, I think it's the ultra rare, if you combine one of the ultra rare with this card and this card, you create quite a number of power gem on the board. And this card, Star Song Wolfpack, is able to not only increase your light gem fall, it's also able to increase upgrade your power gems to, I think it's 2 rank higher. So let's go ahead. It creates 7 light power gem 6s and increase light gem fall stat by 40 for 1 turn, and upgrade all light power gem by 2 rank. That is going to be quite significant when you add this card, Star Song Wolfpack, Disdain Duo, and Divine Sovereign to your deck. Your deck is going to be doing quite decent damage. Last but not least is Afterlife Alliance. Now, Afterlife Alliance will improve Empowering Dance to create 10 Power Gem 5s for 3 turns. It becomes immune to attack for 1 turn and increases light commander damage by 70% for 2 turns. Now, this is going to generate quite a number of power gems. Even though it's power gem 5s, it's going to give you an immunity, and it's going to give you a 70% damage increase, which is quite nice. So you've got quite a number of cards that you can actually choose from to add to your deck to give your deck really decent damage potential. These are just some of the cards. You've got more cards, but these are just some of the cards that I thought of when I saw the deck. So let's look at one combination. So this is one combination that you could use. You could use Lady of the Lake, which is the ultra rare from the Divine Sovereign's deck. Then you could put Franz Lionheart, which is the ultra rare from the current deck. This one gives itself 160% damage increase. It will benefit from Lady of the Lake that will give it an additional 500% damage increase. So that one will have a whopping 660%. Then you've got Divine Sovereign just before Sunblessed Siblings. So Sunblessed Siblings as well will have a whopping 660% damage increase. Now, to add to this power output, Star Song Wolfpack will upgrade all power gems to 2 rank higher, and this will add to the total damage of your deck. Now, this deck combination is not set in stone. There's other cards the cards that I just showed you that you could add to this deck, and this deck could really come alive. It could generate really decent damage. Now I'm going to play around with the deck when the event starts. I'm going to see the best combination that will work for the ultimate bosses and the guild bosses, and then I will showcase that combination along with this combination and probably a few more combinations. Now, as I've mentioned on several of my videos, I'm now in a new job which takes up most of my time, so just trying to put together this video is taking me it's taking me a lot of effort to find the time to just put together this video. So sorry last week I wasn't able to make the possible deck combination video. I'll really try tomorrow to do possible deck combination and showcase this deck in action. So until tomorrow when we do possible deck combination, hopefully information has been really helpful to you. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. If you've got a question, you can leave it in the comment section. If you've got a suggestion, you can leave it in the comment section. This is Octane saying peace and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.